and they say money doesn't buy happiness. I know you heard this report. I read this the other day because I was doing some research on fucking mental health and stuff. Science says money doesn't buy happiness. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I mean, you could definitely do things that if you didn't have the opportunity to do beforehand, you definitely can. But I think the thing, like when you feel like you've made enough, you've always gonna have. I mean, at least if like you have like a competitive instinct, or you always like want to better yourself, you're always gonna want more. So whenever enough is enough, but just like Biggie said, like more money is more problems. So like whenever you make more
Mm-hmm.
money, I could see this like the damn it, I'm drawing a blank right now. The psychological aspect of it, but I'm like I'm torn between the both because it all depends on like I heard this thing like Pharrell said where he said like money is not of I forgot what it said like verbatim. I'd have to look it up, but what wealth is not for the pocket and the heart, but I would have to look it up. But just basically, just like you got to have the right mind to know how to control that money because if you don't, you'll go into that
Oh
where you're not
yeah.
happy state.
Um,
But
I know we
but go
give.
ahead. Why you're talking? I'm gonna look that up.
I know why we give him so much shit, but Will Smith had a really great interview that talked about being your center of like happiness. You know, you can't rely on someone else to be your happiness. Um, but I'd take it a step further than that from that interview because it was a really great saying that he had in there that worked really well. Money buys you solutions, right? But solutions are not happiness. And I just want everybody to understand that. Solutions sometimes are not happiness. You can have a solution to a problem that is not fulfilling in any way, shape, or form, but at least it's out of your face per se. Um, but still, it's one less thing that you have to worry about, but you could still have a million fucking things to be worried about.
So
Your
real
own,
quick,
go
I
ahead.
found it. So it says health is of the heart and the mind, not the pocket.
Yeah, 100%. Because we work in substance abuse and mental health. How many times have you seen rich people come in there still fucked up, still on some extra
Yeah.
shit, still got all the problems in the fucking world that are driving them
Ooh.
basically
No,
almost
go
off
go
the
go ahead.
edge?
I just saw something that came to my head that
Well,
made me
no,
think
no,
about it.
no,
But go
no.
ahead.
No.
I don't want to. Oh.
I was just rambling.
I was watching the A-Rod documentary that just came out on HBO, and then in the last episode, he was talking about how he cheated twice with using steroids in the beginning of his career, and then like when he ended with the Yankees, and he didn't really like understand what he was doing until he talked to a psychologist after he won the World Series, because he felt like his world was like spiraling after he won the World Series, but what he was talking about, I forgot like what verbatim he said, like as far as like he was talking about having like a card hand. He said something about having like kings and aces. He's like, I'm the only one that can like consistently like get that hand, but then like throw all my chips away for nothing. And he's like, but he was like tying it into like, well, I'm thankful that God's like giving me like another chance. But what I'm trying to get at, to like what you just said, as far as like mental health and like people, like rich people that have like come in, like when you're constantly like around that, and then like you going back to like what I brought up in the beginning, like if you're doing certain things that you like never got experience to, but it's at what age you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So if you experience like making $1 million, I mean like you get $50 million being an athlete at like $18 million, you're still in that identity phase between like 18 and 25 where you don't even know who the hell you are. You're not taking that time out to like finish high
Basically,
school, understand college, so you're still kind of immature in an aspect. So whenever you go to buy and do stuff, you're gonna do it immaturely. Like I just saw something the other day, like where Sebastian Telfair, I don't know if you remember him, but they talked about how he was broke. But then again, that's what I'm getting at. Like this dude was making $1 million at 17 years old.
so he's gonna buy
So now,
17-year-old shit just
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
amplified.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. But go ahead. What were we gonna say?
No, it was no, because it was in agreement with what you were saying from the Alex thing. It's like you haven't developed in the back end, and just the deficit of that. If you're not a whole, complete person that understands happiness, that understands what made you
Yeah,
happy,
yeah. Yeah.
fuck all the other shit, whether or not it's
Yep.
amplified or
Yep.
minimized, you know, whether or not you're a
Yep.
millionaire, a billionaire, or broke, you still gonna be fucked up. There's plenty of broke
Yep.
people that are fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
understanding yourself and understanding what makes you happy and what makes you tick as a person.
Yep.
I tell you, listen, the motherfuckers out here don't understand themselves as good as we think, which segues straight into